Greetings, scholars. My name is Dr. Andre Crenshaw. I graduated from Pepperdine University with my educational doctorate in May of 2019. The focus of my research was on African American students in community college and retention. The title of the dissertation was Exploring the Effects of an Afrocentric Learning Community in Community College Settings, and specifically on retention, and it was a qualitative study.
Why did you decide to pursue a doctorate degree?
I decided to pursue my doctorate degree because there is a significant need for our children and our students coming up behind us to have a clear picture as to who they are and why they are in education. Also to be an example from the standpoint of as a more senior scholar, that the younger generation can do it as well. But it's extremely important to bring forth our truth and tell our own stories and our own narrative from a factual standpoint, and also to support the African American academia.
Describe the process you went through to earn your candidacy.
In describing the process that I went through to earn my candidacy, it was quite a process, and in terms of by the fact that I have been there, done that in my work world and just living in general, there was a lot of the things that I recognized out of the gate, where in terms of looking at the educational process, the journey, there's going to be those there to support you and those there to keep you back. And fortunately, I was able to recognize the difference to some degree. But however, by the mere fact that I was able to endure so many different things from a more mature standpoint, because I have grown intellectually, I've grown emotionally, and I have matured from the standpoint of being able to deal with adversity from a mature standpoint. So that really sustained me. That, in conjunction with my spirituality, sustained me toward obstacles and barriers, and because quit was never in my vocabulary.
Did you ever have bouts of imposter syndrome? If so, how did you deal with it?
Now, in terms of the imposter syndrome, I felt as an imposter from the standpoint that I was older. I did not have a scholarly background. My background is business. We did business plans and projections. We didn't do the deep dive research in terms of looking at it from an experimental standpoint. So all of that was new to me. And even from the standpoint of academia, other than my undergraduate and master's program, was new to me. So subconsciously, I had an imposter syndrome. However, in the same light, I also knew that I had the intellect to be in the space. I knew that I could do it. And I also knew that it's something that it was destined for me to do, looking at the trajectory of my life in terms of having a higher purpose for my life. I understood that very young. So it was in the plan, has been in the plan. And I wanted my children to have been out of high school on their own educational journeys before I pursued it, because I knew the commitment that it would take. So when my daughter was at Hampton is when I decided to actually start my doctorate journey, and that's when it began. And so it was a thought out process, but also some challenges. Now, in that same semester that I started that fall, started in August, September, in goodness gracious, in October of that year, my 106-year-old father passed away, and I was in charge of this estate and had to handle all the business. However, that was really a challenge that really could have taken me out of the game, but I did not allow it to. As a matter of fact, on the very morning that he passed, I went to class that night. And again, looking at juggling all the balls, my work, my family, my extended family, my household, all of those things, where it took focus. So again, I tell children, turn the television off, and shut down all the other distractions, and stay focused. So I focused on the things that were priority, that were important to me, and subsequently was able to persevere.
If you could describe your doctoral journey in one word, what would that word be?
If I could describe my doctoral journey in one word, what would this word be? In one word to describe my doctoral journey, it would be success. Why success? Because the meaning of success means that you didn't fail, that you persevered, that you accomplished your goal, that you came to get what you came to get, you got what you came to get. So again, in one word, it would be success. And where I was able to succeed in achieving the highest degree, a terminal degree that there is, period. And coming up as a kid, school was not one of my favorite things to do, so I wasn't a great student. However, I woke up in the latter part of my high school, realizing I did not want to be stuck in the factory in Detroit. You know, I wanted to wear I learned early on, I wanted to wear a shirt and tie when I worked in a clean environment and to be intellectual. And even though I had some great examples in front of me, at the time, you know, as a kid, I still wasn't connecting with the fact that you needed an education in order to really be successful in this world. But I did get the message. And so I was able to run with that.
What is one piece of advice you would give to incoming doctoral students or those who are considering pursuing their doctorate degree?
In terms of students that are coming in, one piece of advice that I would give them is to make sure you have the right support network in your campus. That being at home, that being external, that being within the program, that you have the right people in your support network, and to have a support network. This is not a journey that you go alone. This is not a journey that you go alone. You know, Sojourner Truth did not go alone. Harriet Tubman did not go alone. You need a support network because, again, you can go fast by yourself, but you can go a lot further together. So to make sure you have the right people on board to support you mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, all of those things, academically, who are truly in your corner, because it's quite a journey, but it's a climb, but you can get to the peak. You can get to the top of that mountain where you can look down on success.
How has BDN helped you personally or professionally?
Now, in terms of the Black Doctoral Network has helped me tremendously. I was able to give my very first professional presentation at the Southwest Regional meeting that we had back here in April this year. And I had never presented professionally before in terms of from a scholarly standpoint. So they gave me that outlet. Also in terms of networking with other doctorates across the country, where it's a national organization, and looking at other resources, listening to podcasts, and being involved in workshops such as writing workshops. It has been a wealth of information, and I'm very appreciative of it. I expect to be a member for the duration and hope to support it going forward in a lot of different ways, being involved in conferences, and the one that's coming up, I believe, in October, and being able to present in it. And to because I think it's so important, again, to having that base, that support network. And this is how we get through the race together. And the Black Doctoral Network has proven to be successful. It's also very important to be there as a light for those students that are coming in as new doctorate students, and also for those who are looking at possibly even starting their journey, where they can plug into various programs and whatnot to see what this is all about. But it's something that I think is vitally important. I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Becoming Doctor podcast. We'll see you next time.